HQ-16.
Okay.
This is up to a range of 40 kilometers and followed by HQ-7, which has a range of 12 kilometers. So that is the layered kind of a system Pakistan uses. And I want to be specific here to tell you that all these are Chinese. One. Two, they have never been tested in a war situation.
So when was this installed? Do we have any information about the air defense system and what was China's role in it? Because as I understand, there too, the air defense system,
yes,
there's a clear China link, and the fact that China was actually helping the Pakistanis.
Sir, we're just going to go, Shravan, I'm just going to interrupt you to go across to new visuals that are coming in where Lahore had been struck by India. These are visuals that are coming in how Lahore had been struck by India. Pakistan failed attempt and attacked 15 Indian cities. They also failed there. This is Operation Sindoor that's ongoing. I want to continue to go back to Major General Rajan Kochar, who continues to be with us. Yeah, sir, this is very clear. Yeah. Lahore has been struck by India, but this is only escalation after they do not realize they should not have retaliated in this gross manner.
You see, Rhythm, I think this missile attack by Pakistan was the biggest mistake, because they are trying to poke us or trying to make us escalate the situation. We never wanted to escalate it, but we have been forced by the Pakistanis after the missile attack and all their air defense systems. I was watching the visual photographs of the Lahore airport where this strike also has taken place, and I could see that drones were used. So I don't know if it was an Indian drone, because if the Indian Army statement is making that we have destroyed their air defense systems, then possibly drones have been used. And we have the Heron drones with us, and these are Israelis make to us. And the maximum range of this drone is around 1,000 kilometers. It can go up to an altitude of 35,000 feet. So that implies these air defense layered systems with Pakistan have not been able to detect this drone. Yes. Because this drone was flying at altitude of more than 30,000 feet, which is impossible, which is beyond the capability of the air defense system of Pakistan. And you cannot compare, Shravan, as you said, that our own air defense systems vis-a-vis Pakistan's air defense systems. You cannot compare the strength and capability of our own air defense system.
What is the key difference, if you can help us? What is the key difference?
The difference is that an S-400 can detect and eliminate a supersonic missile.
Okay.
And also it has been upgraded now for the hypersonic missile, because right now the DRDO
So these are the ones which were just recently delivered by the Russians?
By the Russians. 3 squadrons have come to us and 2 squadrons are yet to come, and I think by the end of this year they'll be fetching up. The Ukraine war has actually delayed the delivery, otherwise they would have been with us right now. 1 squadron has been deployed on this side of the border with Pakistan, and these are very potent systems. They can detect a target 600 kilometers away and engage a target 400 kilometers when it comes into the range of 400. From 40 to 400 kilometers is the potency of the S-400 system. Pakistan has no, you can say that Pakistan does not have any kind of the S-400 system.
That's a very important point. Major Samarpal Tur, if I can come back to you. This morning, when I was speaking to you, I had told you about the fact that this has not really ended, and the fact that clearly there was much more to it. We were waiting for this official confirmation to come in from our defense forces. But the fact of the matter is this: I still believe that it is far from over. Major Samarpal Tur, because you've spoken to several people within the establishment, give us a sense of what's really happening.
Shravan, you see, now, as I had mentioned earlier, that you see, this is just the phase 1 which has taken place. As far as phase two will entirely depend upon Pakistan's response. So I strongly feel that after this, if no intimidation takes place from the Pakistan Air Force or their ground forces, then I strongly believe that this is going to lower the momentum and the tension which is prevailing between both the countries. Just in case if there is more aggressive stance by Pakistan by heating up the LC and also deploying their missile systems against India today as well as tomorrow, then I probably feel that UN must intervene because they were
Major
the
Tour,
ones
I
who
don't know
went to
whether you
the
can see
UN.
this because we are just putting out these visuals. Just
Yes,
take a look at
I
it.
can see the visuals. Yes.
Take a look at it. I want you to help
Probably-
us describe this because as I can understand, this is the drone drone attacks that have been carried out. Help us understand this.
Shravan, see, these are basically the LMS, that is the loitering munition systems. So these are mainly, guided by satellite systems, or they have this feature of fire and forget or autonomous systems. So if you feed in the data in terms of the target which exactly has to be acquired and destroyed, they do it from the moment they are
So
airborne.
I'm going to now show you, Major Tour. I'm just going to show you another visual that we have just got. There's a CCTV footage of the interception. After that, after the CCTV footage of the interception, I'm also going to show you some more visuals that are now coming in. Major Tour, on your screen right now, General Rajan Kochar, you can also come in after this.
Okay.
7 seconds, the very moment when the interception has actually taken place. So are we really looking at a situation right now? Are we really looking at a situation where things... Yeah. Are we also looking at a situation where these 7 seconds that you are of the interception that has actually taken place, this would be at the same time, multiple interceptions are taking place?
Yes, Shravan. Shravan, you see, the S-400 is basically, interceptor. Mainly, it is for the aircraft. But in case if loitering munitions are also launched from the Pakistan side, they too come on their radar, and hence they are detectable by the S-400 missile systems, and hence they are intercepted and taken out. And that is exactly the visual that you're seeing. And the altitude of these missiles which have come in, the PL-15, it's probably up to 2 kilometers in altitude as per the visuals that you are seeing right now.
Okay, so General Rajan Kochar, we are looking at 15 cities. So as I understand, there would be, perhaps in a protracted manner, they would have carried out the missile firing?
You see, this distance of each city from the point of launch is going to vary.
Okay.
So once the distance is going to vary, there is bound to be a time lag of a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Not more than that. And the aim is to saturate the air defense system of India, because if you launch simultaneously a number of actually missiles, our own air defense systems may not be able to stop all of them. So as we saw in the Israeli attack on Iran, as well as the Iran also carried out a missile strike on India, you can take out a comparison from these strikes also.
Okay. So, General Tour, a clear, Major Tour, this is, if you do a direct comparison between the Iron Dome and what we have with the S-400, as General Rajan Kochar was also saying, attempt that the enemy would always make is to exhaust us with a number of missiles being fired at the same time. And that perhaps has been completely thwarted.
See, it totally depends upon what Pakistan's stance is. If they show in more aggression, if there are more missile strikes coming in tonight over Punjab, so I think that is a case of escalation. And definitely the S-400, and then India will definitely select the option of counter attack. And we have the Nagastra, we have the different Agni variants of short range and medium range missiles. So I'm sure they are going to be taken out from the inventory and used against exhausting Pakistan's air defenses as well.
So, Rhythm, okay, General Rajan Kochar wants to make a quick point.
I got a point. You see, the selection of the Agni missile system would imply that we want to hit their strategic targets. They're important command and control centers, and that will only happen if there is a war situation.
Right.
Because prior to the war situation, I don't think we will use these kind of a weapon platform, because we have other less potent, I would say, or less effective
Okay.
in terms of distance. So we would like to use our other, like, Prithvi missile system, our Akash, other things we have with us. Nag missile systems with the infantry battalions have. So possibly, if a war situation breaks out, as Major Toor has said, missile system will also come into play.
Okay, so this is a, the Rhythm, just a quick recap for everyone who's tuning in right now. This morning is when these pictures actually came into our newsroom, is when the interception actually took place. Now, this is not the picture coming in from Lahore, but can we just quickly move to the pictures that we've got from Amritsar, because there are several set of images now we have accessed. One are the CCTV footage coming in, shared by the locals in the city of Amritsar. And then, of course, we have other visuals also coming in from places like Bhatinda. In fact, we're going to first, Major Toor, I want to understand from you the selection of these 15 cities. I don't know whether you've had the chance to glance upon these cities. My cursory look at these cities is a clear indication of the fact that each of them have highly guarded military facilities. If you can just take us through some of the cities and some of the military installations that they were basically trying to target.
See, Shravan, I wouldn't find it appropriate to even name the cities on TV. Because why give the enemy a chance at all to even know?
No, Major Toor, it is the army has put it out. The army has put it out in the statement. They have put it out.
Okay. So basically, the reason why they have been trying to target these locations is basically to create a delay and chaos in terms of the military, forming up and moving to the respective locations. Because, as you know, the tensions are high. So, so this is one of the main modus operandi of what the Pakistanis have tried to do, is to create chaos and panic amongst the forces, which probably has been thwarted. And moreover, it is so illogical, because I really fail to understand that the cities that they have named, they don't have any criticality in terms of what they were targeting. I mean, had there been any radar systems or some national asset, it can be understandable. But it stands to no logic as to why these cities were being targeted by them. And I think the reason it will take maybe 48 hours or 72 hours for the Air Force and the Army Air Defense to read the trajectory of these missiles. And the duds which have fallen, probably the softwares are going to be checked as to what was fed into them.
Absolutely. And I also want to get in, Shravan, Major General Rajan Kochar into this now. Major General Rajan Kochar, I think the biggest news that's coming in, and that we are showing, Pakistan missiles intercepted. We stay with those visuals of the missile intercepted. Indian government has now announced, Major General Rajan Kochar, shooting down Pakistan drones and the missile strikes and attacks on military targets in North and West India by Pakistan using air defense, confirms the drone strikes on Pakistan's air defense now by India, including in Lahore. Lahore has been struck, but this is the big news that's coming in. And I think the most fantastic bit of information that's also coming in right now that we have to look at extremely carefully is that India has been successful in making Pakistan fail in its 15-city plot. The proof of Pakistan's failed attempt is very clear, Major General Rajan Kochar, and also India's air defense systems in action foil Pakistan's attack in India.
You're very right, Rhythm. I think I will briefly tell you about the India's air defense system, and the success has been phenomenal, because this is the first time the integration of all the air defense systems of the Indian Air Force and the Indian Army has taken place. We talk about theaterization. I think theaterization has already started. So the first is the S-400, a range of 400 kilometers, and it can acquire up to 600 kilometers. Then we have the MR-SAM, or the Barak 8, which is also an Israeli system, which is being a joint venture with India now. 70 kilometers is the range of this system. Then we have Agni missile system, Akash missile system. Now Akash has a range of around 40 to 60 kilometers, up to that. and it has been internationally recognized as one of the best air defense systems in the world. Even the export orders of the Akash missiles has been sought by Philippines and other countries, and the UAE, other countries are also buying this system. Then we have the OSA AK system with us, and we have the IGLAs with us.
Yes.
So when we talk about this kind of a layered system, and you mentioned about Iron Dome, David Sling, and Arrow, these are the systems which Israel has, and it is one of the best systems in the world today. Even Donald Trump made a statement that he wants to have for the US a similar kind of air defense system which Israel has. So today we have given a message to the whole world.
Yes.
That India's air defense system has been tested operationally against hostile targets, and it has succeeded.
And I think Major Samarpal Toor, if I can actually come to you right now, like Major General Rajan Kochar is telling us, this is massive. We are not only talking about escalation that Pakistan tried to do, but we have neutralized that escalation that they tried to do. The Indian Army has also said this is only a proportionate response that has been there by India. They've also said that we engaged with Pakistan, and we come to the Indian Army also here. And if we stay with those pictures, whether it's the Indian it's in Amritsar where the interception took place in India. Now we're showing you Gotki Sindh that's been struck by Indian forces in Pakistan. This is very clear, Major Samarpal Toor. We are not going to be escalating, but if there is escalation, there's going to be a proportionate response by India, and we're going to negate any escalation by Pakistan.
I mean, Rhythm, it's totally up to Pakistan. Now, I don't believe that India is going to retaliate or to any of these provocations. At least last night, after the intercepts, I don't think that India is going to, provoke the matter further. But in case if Pakistan gets a bit adventurous in terms of its retaliation and overdoes it, then probably it's going to be given a befitting reply with the Prithvi and the Akash missile systems. Agni is definitely an intercontinental ballistic missile, but that doesn't stand to logic that we use that at the moment. But Prithvi and Akash missile systems are definitely going to be effective, the medium range one. And I certainly feel that the Indian top brass, be it the Tri-Forces and the politicians and the political leaders are definitely not going to go in for an escalatory option beyond what has happened last night.
Absolutely. Major General Rajan Kochar, as we stay with those visuals, I just want to give a recap to our viewers who are joining in. And this is not only these visuals and the weaponry that was used by us, the missiles that were used are so clear here. We also need to tell you the Harpy drones were used by the Indian military to target the enemy air defense system. These are Israeli made, and this is very clear. The Israel Aerospace Industries had made them. These are Harpy drones that were used, and I'm also going to tell you the Indian targeted only source locations of missiles and drones launched on India, Pakistan's air defense system, across half a dozen locations has been breached by India. Pakistan targeted Indian armed forces locations in the night. India retaliated in broad daylight, Major General Rajan Kochar, starting at around 7 this morning, and therefore we continue to say Operation Sindoor continues.
Rhythm, very well brought out, because Operation Sindoor, I think, will still continue. And I have a slightly different perception, as Major Toor has said. Why should we always be reactive? Why should we retaliate only when Pakistan strikes? Pakistan has already struck twice now. Then I don't think we should hold our horses now any longer, because maximum punishment has to be inflicted on our enemy.
Okay.
And his combat potential must be degraded, because if we keep on waiting for the next strike to come,
yes,
he will...
Okay, sir, I just want to, for just 1 minute, I also want to just go across. We have some more news coming in, sir. I'm just interrupting for a second from Major Samarpal Tur. This is so clear, and before I come across to you, I also have news coming in from Simran, who's getting us these details. Simran, you've got these details of India targeting only the source locations of the missiles and drones launched in India. Like Major General Rajan Kochhar was telling us also about the defense system, the missiles that have been used for us. India's S-400 air defense was used. S-400 Sudarshan Chakra was fired at the moving targets. Gursimran, you have more details about Operation Sindoor. Like Major General Rajan Kochhar said, it still continues. Simran.
To the fire, that is to the provocation of the Pakistan, as Indian Army has targeting the source of the drone and the missile launches that have taken place from the Pakistan. There were more than a total of 15 launches that were made from the Pakistani territory, and all these launches, they were intercepted by the Indian Army. The Pakistan's attack was foiled, but India's attack was clearly aimed at the locations from where these drones and missiles were launched into the Indian territory. Now what also we are picking up from the sources in the Indian Armed Forces, that India's response started this morning at around 7, unlike Pakistan, which in the dead of the night tried to target the locations of the Indian Army like a coward.
Okay, there is more news coming in, and I also, after this, I'm going to go across to Major Samarpal Tur. Sources say only source-based Pakistan's air defense system in 6 locations was breached. We're also now being told that the Ministry of Defense, Government of India, has also come out with a statement. Only source locations of missiles were targeted. Major Samarpal Tur, this is so clear. Pakistan's air defense system in 6 locations were breached. Pakistan's air defense system, when it was breached, was very clearly done. We don't want to do this, but we're only retaliating to an escalation that is now started by Pakistan.
Rhythm, you see, the Indian missiles have already and drones have already taken out the radar systems. So basically, Pakistan's air defense systems are totally run down. So, if we want, this is the actual time to engage and decimate whatever we wish to as per our wish and will. But I am very sure that the response is going to be very selective, and it's going to be non-escalatory. And I'm sure that from now on, the Pakistan military is going to help the terrorists. Those assets are going to be taken out at our wish, will, and at whatever time we choose to.
Okay, Simran, I'm just going to wait for that audio also to get cleared out. I'm also going to just read out. Shravan continues to be with us, as well as Niranjan in the newsroom, and I'm going to just go across to this news that's coming in from the Ministry of Defense that has said, in response, the Indian Armed Forces targeted air defense radars and systems in various locations in Pakistan. If I could come across to you, Niranjan, in the newsroom, give us more details, because we're being told India's response has been in the same domain with the same intensity and remains focused, measured, and is absolutely non-escalatory.
Rhythm, all those targets that we have struck are the ones which were used to launch the drone and missile attack. It's very simple. We have only struck the targets that were used to target India. The locations that were used to send the drones, the locations that were used to send the missiles have been struck by India. So the government also putting out a press release, the MOD confirming that Indian Armed Forces have targeted air defense radars systems in various locations of Pakistan. India's response has been in the same domain. Spoke about drones and missiles aimed at 15 cities. All of these locations from where the missiles and drones were sent have been neutralized. Same intensity, same focus, measure, non-escalatory. And the picture that we had of the Lahore explosion this morning was nothing but the defense radar of Lahore. The Pakistani radar system in Lahore has now been neutralized. Rhythm.
In fact, if I can just go across to our editor-in-chief, Arnab Goswami, who is also joining us now in the studios. Arnab, Operation Sindoor continues. Pakistan absolutely missiles failed to land here. it's we who have landed now in Lahore and successfully been able to destroy their defense systems.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the point I would like to make to you, Rhythm, and to everyone tonight, and Abhishek is also with us here in the studio, is that we said on the first press briefing on Operation Sindoor that our response is focused, it is measured, it is non-escalatory. And we stay firm with that.
Yeah.
We are not the ones who are the aggressors here. We are simply carrying out a very clear and strong defensive operation. And why am I saying it? We are still targeting specific targets. We are not doing wanton shelling. We are not bombing any civilian targets. We are not just attacking any military targets. Whatever we are doing, and Abhishek, the point to make tonight, this afternoon, whatever we are doing is in response.
Absolutely.
We have not escalated anything. It is Pakistan which tried to attack Avantipura, Srinagar, Jammu, Pathankot, Amritsar, Kapurthala, Jalandhar, Ludhiana, Adampur, Bhatinda, Chandigarh, Nal, Falodi, Uttarlai and Bhuj.
Yeah.
They wanted to carry out this overall drone and missile system. The fact is that we have a very effective missile system, which is the S-400, and we have neutralized everything that they tried to do with our integrated counter UAS grid air defense system, S-400, and we have proof of that we have brought them down, which is the debris of those attacks.
Yeah.
It has been recovered from a number of locations. We are not like the Pakistani foreign minister when he was asked, what is the proof that you have brought down 5 Indian planes? He said, oh, I heard about it in the social media. No, we have the proof, we have the debris, we have the information. But the most important point to make today is that we are responding to Pakistani escalation. Pakistan must stop escalating
Absolutely.
this. And deliberately on every single day, we want peace. But they're continuing to escalate it. They're provoking us. We are forced to do countermeasures. We have now destroyed their air defense systems so that they feel vulnerable. And they are going to feel very vulnerable now. That's why Shehbaz Sharif and Nawaz Sharif are meeting. They have no defense as of this moment. The entire Chinese system has collapsed. Abhishek,
Absolutely.
do you agree with my assessment?
We don't want escalation, but more important is Pakistan cannot afford escalation. If
Yes.
they do, there's going to be cost inflicted, and an example of which has come now with the kind of preemptive, preventive strikes we have carried out, proactive strikes we have carried out, taking down the air defense system in Lahore. Remember, this is just a
In fact,
beginning.
if we can just go across, Abhishek, to that breaking news coming in, Harpy drones have been used by
Yes.
Indian forces, Abhishek, and this is massive. These are Israeli-based, very powerful Harpy drones that were used by the Indian Air Forces, and we're giving you details of...
And Shawan can tell us a little bit more about the Harpy drones. Shawan, tell us about what we've used here.
Well, in fact, these are the drones which can cover about 200 to 300 kilometers. And that is the reason why if you're looking at 7 such specific locations from where these missiles were launched by the Pakistanis, we have got information about the 7 locations from where we are being told that the missiles were launched from Lahore, Sheikhpura, Sialkot, Gurjanwala, Narowal and Chakwal. These are the 7 locations we are being told that were basically targeted by...
So what has happened here is that we have hit, but all this news, and the reason I came on air this afternoon is to say there are some very irresponsible Indian news networks who are saying whatever comes to their mind, because they're picking something from Sama TV, some from Geo TV, some from ARY News in Pakistan and putting it out, and therefore they have become part of the Pakistani disinformation system. They are playing straight into Pakistani hands. And ladies and gentlemen, what have we done? We have not randomly attacked Pakistan. We are not doing that. We have targeted air defense radars at a number of locations. We have hit in the same intensity that they have hit. And we have neutralized their air defense systems, which we have a right to do, because they are using those. They are using those systems. And this is a visual of that picture where we have destroyed their air defense system in Lahore. And we've been forced to do this because they tried to attack our civilians and they targeted a Sikh Gurdwara.
Yes,
they've injured Sikhs. They've deliberately targeted a Gurdwara. And we cannot let that go undefended. And that's the simple point that we are making. Ladies and gentlemen, this is hashtag Operation Sindoor 2. I'm putting it out on the grid. This is Operation Sindoor 2 that we are doing. Yesterday, Abhishek Kapoor said he spoke to his highest sources of the government, who told him, when Abhishek, you asked them what will happen, you said we are ready with Operation Sindoor 2. So Operation Sindoor 2 is on right now, and let it carry on. We'll go to Operation Sindoor 3 and 4 and 5 if required.
Absolutely. In fact, I can tell you one of the escalation metrics is absolutely ready from here on. Whatever Pakistan does, they would see double of that coming on their side. An example of which is taking down of the air defense system in Lahore. And remember,
and we're not going to watch this. You know what has happened here is that we have responded to only artillery firing by Pakistanis in Kupwara, Baramulla, Uri, Poonch, Mendha, Rajouri. They have killed a soldier, they have killed Sikhs, they have attacked and injured people in a Sikh Gurdwara, and it's happened relentlessly. 16 civilians have been killed, mostly women and children. Mostly women and children. We have been compelled to respond. But the difference between the Pakistanis and us is when we respond straight and we are successful.
Yeah,
they have this stupid, I don't know, what is this air defense system they have from China which is collapsed right now? Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news grid should be on the screen. We are on breaking news right now. India reserves the right to respond. We are not doing anything alarmingly. The people of Pakistan should not be alarmed. We're only hitting you because you are trying to attack us. We will destroy you if you try to attack us. We will compel you to surrender once again. I think it is in the interests of the Pakistanis to realize we are going to hit them very, very hard this time. Their missiles have failed. Their drones have proved to be duds. Their air defense system has collapsed. There is panic in Pakistan and there should be. Abhishek.
Well, absolutely, and this is not going to end because I'm hearing that our plan B is ready in case Pakistan responds to this strike in which we have targeted their air defense systems and some other targets in Karachi, for example, in Sindh, and also, of course, in Punjab. The fact of the matter is that a certain Rubicon has been crossed. The battle is now right in the Punjab camp, and the reason why it's important is that Pakistani army is essentially Punjabi army. They thought Punjab is their fiefdom, and the fact that we could hit
the Americans have asked their citizens to leave Lahore. The Americans, we have a breaking from the newsroom, ladies and gentlemen. Niranjan.
Arnab, as you know, we escalate, as Pakistan tries to target India in 15 cities, the US Embassy monitoring the developments in Lahore, especially as we take out the Pakistani defense radars this morning. US Embassy and consulates in Pakistan have issued an urgent notification now saying due to reports of drone explosions, even US is confirming drone explosions, down drones, possible airspace incursions in and near Lahore. US Consulate General in Lahore has directed all consulate personnel to shelter in place. Consulate has also received initial reports that authorities may be evacuating some areas adjacent to Lahore's main port, asking them to take shelter immediately and evacuate from Lahore immediately, and citizens who find themselves in an area of conflict asked to leave.
Yeah, okay, Niranjan, you know, what is important is that everyone is realizing that Pakistan is on a weak wicket. That if it comes to that, Pakistan is going to get a pummeling of its lifetime, and that's why these decisions coming in. But what is important is India has made a very responsible
There is also
statement.
pressure building in on Pakistan to stop trying to attack India. I'm not saying they can attack India, but they are trying to attack India and they are failing. It is in their interest, the Americans, and we've just been speaking, you know, we've had these meetings going on here also with the Iranian foreign minister was meeting, and he said we want to improve the relationship with India. The relationship with India, a major global power, a $4 to $5 trillion economy, the fourth largest economy in the world, is possible only if Pakistan is going to be responsible. We had Operation Sindoor 2 on the 7th of May, and today on the 8th of May, we're in the middle right now, Operation Sindoor 3, and there'll be Sindoor 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and a million if required till we put Pakistan in its place.
Also, Arnab, the fact of the matter is that while targeting those air defense radars and systems at these locations in Pakistan, we have made sure that our response is still proportionate.
There's one more thing. HQ9, HQ16, both of the air defense system of Pakistanis have now been destroyed. Remember, this basically, Abhishek, protects Islamabad and a few other cities. That has been completely decimated, Abhishek.
Shravan, I'm just going to interrupt you. There's more breaking news coming in. Pakistan is also, the cricketers have been asked to leave Rawalpindi immediately. That's also a news that's just coming in, Shravan. Abhishek, this is very clear. Like Shravan is telling us, the Ministry of Defense in India also comes out and says, like Arnab was telling us, in response, the Indian Armed Forces targeted air defense radars and systems in various locations in Pakistan.
It's a huge...
information coming in. The cricketers in Rawalpindi, Pakistan Cricket Board asks all players of Pakistan State Board to leave Rawalpindi immediately. We have Gursimran with us. Gursimran, this means there are going to be no matches in Rawalpindi.
Yes, that is what we are picking up from the Pakistan Cricket Board, that they have asked all the players, those who are part of the Pakistan Super League that is being played in Pakistan, to immediately leave Rawalpindi, and no match will be played in the Rawalpindi. So you will see that they have started to face the heat, because India has hit back at the source of the Pakistani drone and the missile launches that they have done on the installations of the Indian Army. And now the Pakistani Cricket Board has issued an advisory. This advisory is not only for the players of the Pakistan, but also for the foreign players that are playing Pakistan, because many of the international players, they are part of the Pakistani Super League that is being played in, and there was a match scheduled, we are told, later in the day in the Lahore also, the fate of which continues to be unknown, and all the matches in the Rawalpindi, they have been cancelled. There will be no match that will be played in the Rawalpindi for now. Very likely that it will be shifted somewhere else, likely to Karachi or some other stadium, but not in Rawalpindi, so Pakistan is afraid.
Gursimran, this is a huge one. Remember, Rawalpindi is the general headquarters of the Pakistan Army, and the fact that Rawalpindi is not safe for its citizens speaks volumes about the kind of security that Pakistan Army can provide to the rest of the nation. Also the fact, Rhythm and Shawan, the fact of the matter is that Pakistan was trying to give a stupid spin that India carried those attacks in the dead of the night. Now look at our drones getting deep inside Pakistani territory and hitting locations like Lahore and Karachi and some parts of Sindh, 6 locations to be total, but all of them during the daytime. In fact, this has happened around noon, from morning to noon, and that really gives you an idea, Shawan, that we can hit them whenever we want. It's not about night or day. It's about choosing our own time, best time, to make sure that our targets are, our objectives, our military objectives are achieved.
And there is, Abhishek, more news coming in on Sialkot. Shawan, over to you.
Well, we just got a confirmation right now as far as the air defense system in Rawalpindi is concerned. Apart from that, Sialkot and Lahore, Abhishek, that's the HQ9 and HQ16, which has been completely
Rawalpindi, are you saying Rawalpindi has been hit? That's going to be
I have a confirmation. I have a confirmation, not Rawalpindi. I have a confirmation as far as Sialkot is concerned and Lahore. If you can just hold on to Rawalpindi for a minute.
Even Sialkot, for that matter, the fact that this is the hub from where Pakistan has in earlier wars launched its strikes. Sialkot is compromised, Lahore is compromised, Karachi is compromised, and remember, this is when we have not even started looking at what our naval forces are doing in the Arabian Sea, all geared up, ready to go there in the deep seas and strike if need be. And now Pakistan realizing that the kind of mobilization this time India has done, there is absolutely no chance whatsoever for Pakistan to carry out any swift retort. It's only going to be retort and retribution from Indians in case of Pakistan or any of their generals conceives of any misadventure. Rhythm, look at those pictures. If we can get those still pictures of the DG ISPR, he looks so hassled. Like yesterday, so today. He's not even had the time to comb his hair, and that really gives you an idea of the kind of stress the Pakistani generals are in, given the fact that they have egg on their face and that they have been given a big slap with our ammunition reaching right there inside, in the heart of Punjab, in Bahawalpur, in Lahore, and in Muridke. Remember, Muridke is just on the outskirts, little distance from Lahore, and those targets to be hit with their rudders failing, with their air defense failing, with their systems really not catching any of these missiles and drones. By Pakistan's own admission, 24 of Indian missiles hitting those targets in the Operation Sindoor. In Operation Sindoor, therefore, yesterday
Okay,
night.
There's also
and
more
now,
breaking news coming in. Abhishek, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar says India will hit back if Pakistan strikes. It's very clear, these statements coming in now from the Ministry of Defense, from the Indian Army, and this is clear because now we've been told, Abhishek.
Yes, Rhythm.
Let's play out that reaction first.
It is not our intention to escalate the situation. However, if there are military attacks on us, there should be no doubt that it will be met with a It is not our intention to escalate the situation. However, if there are military attacks on us, there should be no doubt that it will be met with a very firm response.
Okay, we're also going to go across to the big breaking news coming in. Shawan is getting us this Pakistan air defense system is decimated in Sialkot also. Shawan, over to you.
Well, in fact, the two details coming in as far as from Islamabad is that Pakistan's air defense unit, which is the HQ-9 and layered with HQ-16, both seem to have sustained heavy damages. In fact, this is the one which is in Lahore has been completely neutralized, and the other confirmation we've just got, and as Abhishek was also pointing out, the significance of the air defense system around Sialkot, which too has now suffered heavy damages, basically leaves several of the cities in Pakistan extremely vulnerable right now. So if at all the Pakistanis basically escalate at this point in time, they would face massive damages, because the kind of retaliation that India has essentially prepared would mean heavy damages for them.
Absolutely. And I also want to go across for a word to Niranjan, who's also joining us on the story. Niranjan, this is massive because the Pakistan air defense system is decimated in Sialkot and in Lahore. We're also trying to pick up information like we did earlier about Rawalpindi that has also been struck, like Abhishek was telling us. The Pakistan Cricket Board very, very clearly also telling its players to leave Rawalpindi, which Abhishek said is massive because this is also the epicenter for Pakistan.
That's correct. That is the Pakistan garrison headquarters. That's where the Pakistan Army and the ISI operate from. Gursimran has confirmed 7 cities right now. He's not confirming Rawalpindi, but these are the names of the cities that he's confirmed. Bahawalpur, which we already stuck in Operation Sindoor 1. Lahore, Sheikhupura, Sialkot, Gujranwala, Narowal, Chakwal. As far as Rawalpindi is concerned, waiting for an official confirmation. But there are reports, and of course Pakistan media is also claiming, but we can't take them at face value. We will wait for an official confirmation. Rhythm, back to you.
Okay, I also want to go back once again to Abhishek and Gursimran on this story. In fact, there are 7 cities, Gursimran, that you have stated have been struck. I want to get more information on that. Bahawalpur, Lahore, Sheikhupur, Sialkot, Gujranwala, Narowal, Chakwal. Gursimran, give us more details.
Yes, Rhythm, what the confirmation we got that at the 7 in the morning, the first hit was at the Narowal only, because this has been the confirmation. There was a visual confirmation that was also shared regarding the hits, and then there was Bahawalpur, Sialkot and Narowal and the other areas, Sheikhupura, that was hit by the Indian Armed Forces in their strikes. These strikes are purely retaliatory in the nature. That means these are not the provocative strikes by the Indian Army, but these were the strikes at the source of the Pakistan's provocation, from where Pakistan late last night at around 12:30 to 3:30 at somewhere it was the time of the 180 minutes, where the Pakistan launched multiple attacks at the various locations. So out of the 15 targets that the Pakistan had locked in India to target, all these were military targets. This only 2 were able to actually reach the hinterland. All of other were neutralized very close to the line of control and the international border. Only 2, one at Bhuj, where the drone of the Pakistan that was brought down by the air defense system of the Indian side, and second was the Amritsar, where the Pakistani missile was brought down by the Indian air defense system. These 2 were the places where these drones and the missiles were in a position to reach the hinterland. Otherwise, they were actually destroyed very close to the international border and the line of control, thus thwarting the threat. And the India's response was calibrated and only proportionate, because it was not an escalation response that the India has given. India has only retaliated to the source. Half a dozen were the locations, 7 locations we are getting a confirmation of, where India has hit the facilities from where Pakistan was planning and have launched an attack on the India's military bases and the military locations of the Indian Army. Strategically important, but all attempts of the Pakistan have been foiled. But Pakistan has been hit in Lahore. That is what the confirmation the Indian Army has also given now, that their air defense system has completely been decimated.
Well, in fact, Abhishek, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we were saying that staying with the breaking news now coming in, as Gursimran was also pointing out, these are 7 locations, but we're getting in more details with regards to the air defense system in some of the places. The confirmation is about at least 2 locations as of now. As far as Rawalpindi is concerned, reports essentially emerging from Pakistan. We're waiting for an official confirmation coming in from the Indian Army as to whether at all Rawalpindi's air defense system was also targeted. Because remember, right now, what the army is essentially maintaining, Abhishek, is that at only those areas from where the missiles were launched. Only those areas have been targeted. So Bahawalpur, it's unlikely at this point in time because the missiles were not launched from Bahawalpur. So right now, as far as India is concerned, they are saying that Operation Sindoor 2 was only from those locations where the missiles were launched. Slipping at a short break on the other side, we'll take you through the more details now emerging from Operation Sindoor 2 that was carried out this morning.
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते
Sir, fans हैं, शोर तो करेंगे ही ना?
नए वाले नहीं करते. And they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
Silly me आए तो और
Cricket fans.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला. सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप.
Unlike in 2019 when we had hit Balakot, which was in the wilderness, and Pakistan got an excuse to say that nothing had been damaged or killed, that we had only killed some crows.
यार मार्केट कैसा ऊपर नीचे होता है.
याद रख, करियर, इन्वेस्टमेंट और लाइफ में ऊपर नीचे होता रहता है यार.
वो तो है.
बस भाई डटे रहे, तभी तो अपने सपने पूरे कर सकता है.
सही है.
लाइफ और म्यूचुअल फंड्स में लॉन्ग टर्म सोचना
सही है.
सही है. हाँ.
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है. योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें.
MDH की देगी मिर्च.
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का.
MDH की देगी मिर्च.
अगर उन्हें 4 की यार्ड करेंगे, डेरा मस्ती खाली करवा ली भाई.
And we're coming back with pictures of how Pakistani drones and missiles failed to make a landing, all stopped in the skies by Indian air defense systems. Pictures that make every Indian proud. 15 cities were targeted, none of them managed to hit us.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला. स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार. MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला. MDH.
Of different weapon systems, because you cannot risk putting all eggs in one basket.
ये मस्जिद मरकज उमर करा के अंदर ये नुकसान है.
Not risk putting all eggs in one basket. Not risk putting all eggs in one basket.
Mentor here and
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने, सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
पाकिस्तानी और इंडिया ने जंग शुरू कर दी है। अभी बहावलपुर सिटी के अंदर मौलाना मसूद अजहर साहब के जो है मदरसा है उसके ऊपर 4 मिसाइल दागे गए हैं। 4 मिसाइलों के साथ हमला किया गया है मौलाना मसूद अजहर साहब के मदरसे के ऊपर। हम अपनी अफवाज पाकिस्तान के साथ खड़े हैं, लेकिन मेरा सवाल है कि हमारी एजेंसीज कहाँ सोई हुई थी, हमारी अफवाज पाकिस्तान कहाँ सोई हुई थी जब ये हमला हुआ। मुजफ्फराबाद की भी खबर आ रही है कि मुजफ्फराबाद वाली साइड पे भी ये अटैक हुआ है, लेकिन सबसे पहले मेरे बहावलपुर सिटी के अंदर अटैक हुआ है ब्लास्टिक मिसाइल के साथ। उन्होंने हमला किया है मौलाना मसूद अजहर साहब के मदरसे के ऊपर। 4 मिसाइल मारे गए हैं। अभी ये कहना कबल वक्त है कि गोया कितनी सच्चाई है इस खबर के अंदर, किस साइड से ये मिसाइल आए हैं ये कंफर्म होना बाकी है, लेकिन ये कंफर्म न्यूज़ है कि उनके मदरसे के ऊपर 4 मिसाइल मारे गए हैं।
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते
सर फैंस हैं, शोर तो करेंगे ही ना।
नए वाले नहीं करते and they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans. Super silent performance with voice control.
सिली में आए तो और
Cricket fans.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
Unlike in 2019 when we had hit Balakot, which was in the wilderness, and Pakistan got an excuse to say that nothing had been damaged or killed, that we had only killed some crows and pigeons and sparrows. This time, we chose high visibility terrorist targets which have been around for
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
अगर उन्होंने 4 की यार्ड करेंगे डेरा मस्ती खाली वाली भाई।
from Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Good evening. Indian Armed Forces had said that our response and commitment is that there will be an escalation provided it's respected by the Pakistan military. Viewers, it's time for Operation Sindoor 2 because the Pakistan military does not know how to be ensuring there is no any strikes from them. They've struck us and we're going to ensure that their systems fail. There's some breaking news that's coming in. And breaking news coming in, India pummels Pakistan. EU finally condemns the attack after much waiting. Let's also go across to the breaking news that's come in. The European Union has now said every state has a right to protect itself. These are details that the EU has now said, and its 27 member states unequivocally condemn the terrorist attack in Pahalgam. Terrorism can never be justified. The EU monitors the situation closely with great concern and calls for both parties to exercise restraint and to de-escalate tensions. This is now the breaking news that's coming in. But we struck them. India pummels Pakistan, and it's now the EU that finally condemns the attack. We stuck them in Lahore, we stuck them in Rawalpindi, in Karachi, and in Gopi. And this only happens because they had come and attacked us and tried to attack India in 15 cities. In fact, if I can go across to those details that we have, the Operation Sindoor continues. The army releases a statement. Pakistan's 15-city attack plot to India had failed. India's integrated counter has now begun. India's air defense system in action. We foiled Pakistan attack, and India has now downed Pakistani drones and missiles. But staying with those pictures, we tell you, Indian forces retaliated by taking out Lahore's air defense system. I want to go across to Niranjan. Niranjan, this is massive. Pakistan air defense system has been decimated in Sialkot and Lahore. That's the big breaking news that's coming in right now.
Rhythm, what is very, very alarming is that, Rhythm, just imagine we are here in the National Capital Region in NCR. Pakistan has targeted 15 cities in the last few hours, and I'm naming those cities once again. Avantipura, Srinagar, Jammu, Pathankot, Amritsar, Kapurthala, Jalandhar, Ludhiana, Adampur, Batinda, Chandigarh, Nal, Phalodi, Uttarlai, Bhuj. They've targeted all these cities using drones and missiles. And imagine, Rhythm, none of the drones or missiles hit any of those cities, and that is why each one of those anti-nationals in India who questioned our forces should think they are safe because our forces have thwarted this attack. Every single missile and drone has been intercepted, and the Indian Army and the Ministry of Defense, the government has put out detailed reports of how we countered these drones and the missiles. 15 cities were targeted. Each of them have been countered using the integrated counter UAS grid and the air defense systems, details of which have been released by the government now. So our defense systems have effectively countered Pakistan, and additionally we have another information that the S-400 missile systems, S-400 Sudarshan Chakra missile defense systems were activated last night, and every target that was unleashed by Pakistan has been countered by these S-400 defense systems. So that is huge, because if 15 cities were targeted, you can imagine the number of projectiles or the missiles that were sent by Pakistan, and each of them has failed, effectively failed. And as a counter, the government has also confirmed that we went after some of their radar systems to specifically target especially the areas from where these missiles and drones came from. Some of those cities you mentioned just now, Lahore this morning, it was a cantonment area, and one of their drone systems and their weapon defense system has been destroyed. Their radar system has been destroyed. There are reports of the other cities as well hit, including Sialkot.
I just want to go across once to Gursimran Niranjan on the big breaking news that's coming in. And Gursimran, last night, like Niranjan is telling us, Pakistan attempted to target military installations in multiple Indian cities: Avantipura, Srinagar, Jammu, Pathankot, Amritsar, Kapurthala, Jalandhar, Ludhiana, Bathinda, Chandigarh, Bhuj. India successfully intercepted all the incoming threats. We launched a counter-retaliatory strike. Now this included the neutralization of the defense system in Lahore. We've also struck them in Sialkot. But what we're trying to say, Gursimran, and you can give us more details, what we've told the Pakistani is that the response will be only non-escalatory. It is only being done if they persist.
See, it's very clear to the Pakistan by now that India will strike back Pakistan if they dare to target any of the civilian areas or the military installations of the Indian army. It's no more the India that will bear the Pakistan's brutal attacks on the Indian soil. Because see what has happened, that last night it was 12:30 when the lights were off, the entire electricity was cut off. It was based on some of the intelligence input that the security forces had. There was a total blackout. After that, at 1 exactly, I remember, I was there, I was recording a video. At 1 exactly, there was a siren that went off for 2 minutes. After that, a couple of minutes, I got to know that there is an interception or there is a loud explosion that was heard in the Amritsar, and all the rest of this, except a Bhuj drone that came into the hinterland area, all other threats were eliminated by the armed forces, by the air defense systems very close to the line of control and the international border. None of the 13 threats out of total 15 could even reach the hinterland area or the area of the population close to the border. 2 threats that managed to enter this side, these threats were neutralized by the air defense system of the Indian armed forces, and then India carried out retaliatory strikes. What Pakistan did, that in the dead of the night, they tried to carry out the retaliatory strikes. They acted like cowards to come in the night to target the military installation and the civilian areas. But what India did in retaliation, that is something important. India started its retaliation from Narowal today morning at around 7. We are told that the first strikes have taken place at the bases of the Pakistan. These bases were same bases from where Pakistan had launched the missiles and the drone systems late last night to target the locations of the Indian army at 50 locations last night at around 12:31 was the time.
I'm just going to interrupt you for 1 minute. I want you to stay on with us. I'm also having Niranjan join us. The big breaking news also coming in. After India strikes Lahore, now the US consulate in Lahore directs all consulate personnel to shelter in place due to reports of drone explosions. The US consulate in Lahore has directed them that there is going to be possible airspace incursions in and near Lahore. In a security alert, the consulate said it's received initial reports that authorities may be evacuating some areas adjacent to Lahore's main airport. It's also asked American citizens to leave the area of conflict for their safety. Niranjan, it's coming across to this, but this is only coming because very, very clearly US Embassy issuing that alert that in Pakistan there's a travel advisory, so as to say now, because Pakistan has now tried to attack India, India is only retaliating.
Rhythm, what is very, very telling about the statement from America is that US Embassy and a specific alert on the US consulate in Lahore, and this is dated this morning. It is just come out and they have confirmed, US consulate has confirmed reports of drone explosions, reports of down drones, possible airspace incursions in and near Lahore. The US is saying there is possible airspace incursions in and near Lahore, and the US Consulate General in Lahore has directed all consulate personnel to shelter in place. Secondly, the consulate has also received initial reports that authorities may be evacuating some areas adjacent to Lahore's main airport. So the US has some information that areas around Lahore's main airport is being evacuated right now, and that is why they've also issued this alert. Point number 3, saying that US citizens who find themselves in an area of active conflict, they should leave immediately, and they should do so safely. And if it is not safe to leave, they should shelter in place, saying that the US Embassy and consulates in Pakistan will continue to send updates. The actions they have asked US citizens to take: one, seek secure shelter and have evacuation plans.
Niranjan, I just want to go across to one graphics that we are getting, and you can also speak over that. We're getting the breaking news that's now coming in, and India has now taken out the Pakistan's air defense system in 7 locations. This is the big breaking news. If I can also get Shavan to join us on the story. It's in Sialkot, in Shekhupura, in Lahore, in Bahawalpur, in Gurjanwala, in Narowal and Chakwal. In fact, Niranjan, Shavan was just giving us details of Sialkot and Lahore, but this is breaking news that's coming in. The air defense system in 7 locations of Pakistan, Niranjan, has been now taken out by India.
Well, there are so many reports that are coming in, Rhythm. I can confirm to you that as of this minute, at least 7 cities, and that number could go up, because there are some reports that say that at least 9 cities were targeted by India in our measured response to go after the source of where these missiles and drones were sent. But as of now, Bahawalpur on that map that you see on your screen, Chakwal, Gujranwala, Narowal, Sialkot, Shekhupura, you also saw Lahore there, and Bahawalpur. Bahawalpur was also hit, by the way. Bahawalpur was a target for India in Operation Sindoor as well. That is Masood Azhar's headquarters, Jaish-e-Mohammed's headquarters, and Lahore has specifically been targeted. So this is a very, very big update. That number and this map could change in the next few hours. That's an update we are getting in, because more visuals reportedly from other cities of Pakistan as well. We will wait for those updates to come in. Rhythm.
Absolutely, and I'm just going to go across, viewers. I'm going to stay with these graphics, and then I'm going to go across to more graphics, because I'm going to come in a minute with very big breaking news, and I'm going to show our viewers how Pakistani politicians are crying in fear. They are jittery, they are panicky, they are nervous, they are giving speeches, but they are extremely scared of what lies ahead. That's the big breaking news that we're going to get you in just a minute. But I want to continue to stay with Niranjan right now. Niranjan, as we continue to stay with this news, the news that's also going to come in from Pakistan, and we're getting to know details. Lahore, Rawalpindi, Ghotki, Karachi, all have been struck. Their defense system in these places has also been shut down. This is Operation Sindoor 2. As Pakistan attempted to target Indian cities, India strikes again. Drone strikes took place in Rawalpindi, where the cricket stadium apparently was there. That's something we're going to be confirming. There's fear and tears in Pakistan's National Assembly. All right, we're going to come out with that breaking news. We're trying to get that breaking news, and I'm just going to go across to that in 1 minute as that breaking news is getting prepared. And I just want to go across once more to you, Niranjan. What is the Indian... Okay, the big breaking news that's coming in, and we're getting this breaking news that's now coming in. There's fears and tears in Pakistan National Assembly. Pakistan's Foreign Army Major in the National Assembly says, please save Pakistan from India. This is Major Tahir Iqbal, retired Pakistan MNA. He cries while giving a speech at the National Assembly. It's clear Pakistan is jittery. Pakistani politicians are crying in fear after the India attack. It's a 2-minute reaction coming in from Major Tahir Iqbal, who's speaking in the Parliament of Pakistan. I'm going to go across to that, and this is the fear, the palpable jittery fear and tears that we are seeing in Pakistan. Let's go across and play that reaction from Major Tahir Iqbal of the Pakistan Army.
मैं इन सबसे कहूंगा कि मिलकर चलो और अपने रब से रुजू करो। रब काबा, हम तेरे आगे दरख्वास्त करते हैं, इस मुल्क की हिफाजत फरमाना जो तूने हमें अता किया है, और ये नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की दुआओं का है। आपने कायदे आज़म को इंग्लैंड में मुलाकात की, ख्वाब में आए और उनको कहा कि जाओ वापस और जाके पाकिस्तान का मामला हल करो। आप खान कलात को ख्वाब में आके ये हुक्म दिया कि तुमने पाकिस्तान की सरना है, ये मुल्क बन के रहेगा और तुमने तो ये ऐसा बड़ा मौजज़ा है कि अल्लाह पाक ने ये हमें अता किया है, और अल्लाह पाक इस मुल्क की हिफाजत फरमाएंगे। दुनिया में जहां भी देखें शायद हमारी कमी है, हम मजबूर हैं, हम गुनाहगार हैं, लेकिन रब्बे काबा हम तेरे हबीब के उम्मती हैं, खुदा का वास्ता हमसे रहम का मौला फरमा। आप चले जाएं, उधर फिलिस्तीन भी चले जाएं, कश्मीर में चले जाएं, जहां भी जाएंगे मुसलमानों के साथ वो ऐसे रो रहा है जो हम सोच भी नहीं सकते हैं। तो तू हमें माफ कर दे, हम तेरे आगे सर झुकाते हैं, माफी मांगते हैं। नहीं, इसमें दो राय नहीं है मौला कि हम बड़े गुनाहगार हैं, लेकिन तेरी रहमत बहुत वसी है। तू रहमत का एक जर्रा भी भेजेगा हमारी तरफ तो इंशाल्लाह हमारी कामयाबी होगी। ये दुआ करते हैं रब्बे काबा हमारी कौम की हिफाजत है। मैं इन सबसे कहूंगा दुश्मनों के मिल के चलो और अपने रब से रुजू करो और हमें उनको रब्बे काबा हम तेरे आगे दरख्वास्त करते हैं, दुआ को हूं इस मुल्क की हिफाजत फरमाना जो तूने हमें अता किया है। और ये नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की दुआओं का है। आपने हमारी कौम यकजा है, मैं इन सबसे कहूंगा मुलाकात मिल के चलो और अपने रब से रुजू करो, जाओ वापस और रब्बे काबा का मामला करते हैं। आप खाना इस मुल्क की हिफाजत में आके ये हुक्म दिया तुमने पाकिस्तान के सामने ये मुल्क बन के रहेगा, तुमने तो ये ऐसा बड़ा मौजूद है कि अल्लाह पाक ने ये हमें अता किया है और अल्लाह पाक इस मुल्क के जाओ वापस और जाके पाकिस्तान का मामला हल करो। जहां भी देखें खाना हमारी कमी में आके ये हुक्म दिया कि तुमने पाकिस्तान के सामने ये मुल्क बन के रहेगा और तुमने ये ऐसा बड़ा मौजूद है कि अल्लाह पाक ने ये हमें अता किया है और अल्लाह पाक इस मुल्क के हिफाजत कश्मीर में चले जाए, जहां भी जाएंगे मुसलमानों के साथ जहां भी देखें शायद जो हम सोच भी नहीं सकते हैं। तो तू हमें माफ कर दे, हम गुनाहगार हैं, सर झुकाते हैं, माफी मांगते हैं। नहीं, इसमें दो राय नहीं है मौला कि हम बड़े गुनाहगार हैं, लेकिन तेरी रहमत बहुत वसी है। कश्मीर में रहमत का एक जर्रा भी भेजेगा हमारी तरफ के साथ इंशाल्लाह हमारी कामयाबी होगी। सोच भी नहीं सकते, दुआ करते हैं रब्बे काबा माफ कर दे, मुल्क की हिफाजत करे, सर झुकाते हैं, माफी मांगते हैं। नहीं, इसमें दो राय नहीं है मौला कि हम बड़े गुनाहगार हैं, लेकिन तेरी रहमत बहुत वसी है। आर्म्ड फोर्सेस के लिए रहमत का एक जर्रा भी भेजेगा हमारी तरफ तो इंशाल्लाह हमारी कामयाबी होगी। और दुआ करते हैं रब्बे काबा कि इस मुल्क की हिफाजत फरमा और हमें दुश्मनों पर जो है वो फकीर अता फरमा और हमें उनको सरनगू करने की ताकत अता फरमा। मैं दुआ गो हूँ आर्म्ड फोर्सेस के लिए।
Well, back-to-back breaking developments coming in, ladies and gentlemen, as we strike at least 7 targets in Pakistan in retaliation to their drone and missile attack. They targeted 15 cities and we are giving it back in every single city where they launched the drones and missiles from. You just saw the video of a Pakistani senator crying, saying, "Save Pakistan from India." That's the kind of fear that is spread in Pakistan, especially after we've struck their terror targets, the terror headquarters, and all the locations from where they launched the attack. Let's play that video out once again. That's a reminder to Pakistan that they once again try to target India. This is what they will get. Take a look at this senator crying in the Pakistan National Assembly.
तो इसलिए जनाब स्पीकर ये बात वाज़ा कर देनी चाहिए, हमारी कौम यकजा है। मैं इन सब से कहूंगा कि मिल के चलो और अपने रब से रुजू करो। रब्बे काबा हम तेरे आगे दरख्वास्त करते हैं, इस मुल्क की हिफाजत फरमाना जो तूने हमें अता किया है और ये नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की दुआओं का है। आपने कायदे आज़म को इंग्लैंड में मुलाकात की, ख्वाब में आए और उनको कहा कि जाओ वापस और जाके पाकिस्तान का मामला हल करो। आप खाना कलात को ख्वाब में आके ये हुक्म दिया कि तुमने पाकिस्तान की सरना ये मुल्क बन के रहेगा और तुमने तो ये ऐसा बड़ा मौजूदा है कि अल्लाह पाक ने ये हमें अता किया है और अल्लाह पाक इस मुल्क की हिफाजत फरमाएंगे। दुनिया में जहां भी देखें शायद हमारी कमी है, हम मजबूर हैं, हम गुनाहगार हैं, लेकिन रब्बे काबा हम तेरे हबीब के उम्मती हैं, खुदा का वास्ता हमसे रहम का मौला फरमा। आप चले जाएं, उधर फिलिस्तीन भी चले जाएं, कश्मीर में चले जाएं, जहां भी जाएंगे मुसलमानों के साथ वो ऐसे रो रहा है जो हम सोच भी नहीं सकते हैं। तो तू हमें माफ कर दे, हम तेरे आगे सर झुकाते हैं, माफी मांगते हैं। नहीं, इसमें दो राय नहीं है मौला कि हम बड़े गुनाहगार हैं, लेकिन तेरी रहमत बहुत वसी है। तू रहमत का एक जर्रा भी भेजेगा हमारी तरफ तो इंशाल्लाह हमारी कामयाबी होगी। और दुआ करते हैं रब्बे काबा कि इस मुल्क की हिफाजत फरा और हमें दुश्मनों
AQA Sri Sanjay Chawla, CMDs of DPSUs, senior officers, head of the industry associations, young entrepreneurs, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. जिस समय सेक्रेटरी डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन वेलकम स्पीच दे रहे थे तो उन्होंने आभार व्यक्त किया कि मैं इस कार्यक्रम में आप सबके बीच उपस्थित हूं। सच्चाई यह है, खैर उन्हें औपचारिकता पूरी करनी थी, पूरी की उन्होंने, लेकिन इस क्वालिटी नेशनल क्वालिटी कॉन्क्लेव में आना मुझे बेहद अच्छा लगा है। वैसे ऑर्डिनरी कॉन्क्लेव में तो हम लोग जाते रहते हैं, तो क्वालिटी कॉन्क्लेव में आने में क्या आपत्ति हो सकती है। साथियों, सबसे पहले तो मैं हमारी आर्म्ड फोर्सेज ने कल जो कार्रवाई की है और जय हिंद, जय हिंद, जो शौर्य और पराक्रम दिखाया है उसके लिए मैं हृदय से बधाई देता हूं। पाकिस्तान और पीओके में जिस तरह से हमारी आर्म्ड फोर्सेस ने टेरर कैंप्स को नेस्त नाबूद किया है वो हम सबके लिए एक गौरव का विषय है। साथियों, आप सभी नेशनल क्वालिटी कॉन्क्लेव का आयोजन ये आपका चल रहा है। क्वालिटी की क्या भूमिका होती है, यह क्या रोल अदा करती है, इसका नमूना हमने कल देखा। जिस प्रेसिजन के साथ यानी जिस सटीकता के साथ ऑपरेशन सिंदूर एग्जीक्यूट किया गया वह अनइमेजिनेबल है, बहुत ही सराहनीय है। इसमें 9 टेररिस्ट कैंप्स तबाह हुए और अच्छी खासी संख्या में आतंकी मारे गए। जिस तरह से इस ऑपरेशन को किसी भी इनोसेंट को नुकसान पहुंचाए बिना मिनिमम कोलेटरल डैमेज के साथ अंजाम दिया गया, वह इसलिए संभव हो पाया क्योंकि हमारे फॉर्मिडेबल एंड प्रोफेशनली ट्रेन्ड आर्म फोर्सेस के पास इक्विपमेंट भी हाई क्वालिटी के थे। ऐसे में इस क्वालिटी कॉन्क्लेव को मैं बड़े महत्वपूर्ण कॉन्क्लेव के रूप में देखता हूं। मैं इस आयोजन के लिए डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन और इनके सेक्रेटरी डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन श्री संजीव कुमार को भी हार्दिक बधाई देता हूं और क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को भी मैं बधाई देता हूं। साथियों, अभी मैं इस कॉन्क्लेव की थीम देख रहा था, फास्ट ट्रैकिंग ऑफ क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस थ्रू इंटीग्रेटेड अप्रोच एंड टेक्नोलॉजी एनेबल्ड प्रोसेसेस। आपकी यह थीम मुझे बेहद अच्छी ही नहीं लगी बल्कि दिलचस्प भी लगी, इंटरेस्टिंग लगी। वैसे भी पूरी दुनिया में इसमें बड़ी तेजी से डिसरप्टिव चेंजेस हो रहे हैं और खासकर डिफेंस सेक्टर में तो लगातार नए नए ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस ये देखने को मिल रहे हैं। ऐसे में क्वालिटी असेसमेंट को फास्ट ट्रैक करना न सिर्फ रेलेवेंट है बल्कि मैं समझता हूं यह समय की मांग है। उन चेंजेस को देखते हुए यह थीम अपने आप में बहुत ही रेलेवेंट हो जाती है। इतनी इंटरेस्टिंग और रेलेवेंट थीम रखने के लिए भी मैं आप सबको बधाई देता हूं। साथियों, अक्सर मुझे आर्म्ड फोर्सेस के अलग अलग कार्यक्रमों में प्रायः जाने का अवसर मिलता है। रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के इवेंट्स में जाने का भी अवसर मिलता रहता है। प्राइवेट सेक्टर द्वारा आयोजित कार्यक्रमों में भी मैं प्रायः जाता ही रहता हूं, परंतु आज का यह जो मंच है यह अपने आप में बड़ा अलग है और एक विशिष्ट मंच है। मैं ये देख रहा हूं कि यहां कई सारे लोग हैं जो अलग अलग फील्ड्स में महारत जिन्होंने हासिल की है, महारथी बैठे हैं यहां। इसलिए मुझे लगता है कि आज की हमारी बातचीत भी कई मायनों में विशेष होने वाली है। साथियों, इस क्वालिटी कॉन्क्लेव की महत्ता और आवश्यकता पर तो मैं आगे चर्चा करूंगा ही, परंतु पहले मैं आपको कुछ ऐसे बिंदुओं से, कुछ ऐसे पॉइंट से अवगत कराना चाहूंगा जो हमारी सरकार की प्रायोरिटीज से जुड़े हुए हैं। 2014 में माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में हमारी सरकार आने के बाद प्रधानमंत्री जी ने हमें एक अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण सूत्र प्रदान किया। उन्होंने शुरुआत में ही डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन सेक्टर के एम्पावरमेंट पर विशेष बल दिया। उन्होंने जो सूत्र दिया उसके पीछे की फिलॉसफी थी डिफेंस सॉवरेंटी। डिफेंस सॉवरेंटी का मतलब कि जब तक कोई देश अपनी डिफेंस नीड्स में कैपेबल तथा सेल्फ रिलायंट नहीं होता, तब तक उसकी आजादी पूरी तरह से नहीं मानी जा सकती। जब तक हम अपनी सुरक्षा के लिए इंपोर्ट पर डिपेंडेंट रहेंगे, तब तक कहीं न कहीं हमारी आत्मशक्ति में अधूरापन रहेगा। ये अगर हम अपने हथियार और रक्षा उपकरण विदेशों से खरीदते हैं तो इसका मतलब है कि हम अपनी सुरक्षा को आउटसोर्स कर रहे हैं और उसे किसी और के भरोसे छोड़ रहे हैं। यह बात लॉन्ग रन में सही नहीं हो सकती। हमारी सरकार ने इस विषय पर गंभीरता से सोचा और आत्मनिर्भरता हासिल करने का निर्णायक कदम भी उठाया है। आप सब तो जानते ही हैं कि देश में पहले से ही ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्रीज का एक इंडिजिनस सिस्टम रहा है और इन फैक्ट्रीज ने एक समय पर बेहतरीन काम किया और देश की सुरक्षा जरूरतों को पूरा करने में बहुत ही अहम भूमिका निभाई भी है। इनके अलावा हमारे पास डिफेंस पीएसयूज का भी एक मजबूत इकोसिस्टम पहले से ही है। हमारी सरकार ने डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन में क्वालिटी और क्वांटिटी दोनों पर समान रूप से बल दिया है। इसी दिशा में कई क्रांतिकारी कदम उठाए गए, जिनमें से कुछ महत्वपूर्ण कदमों का उल्लेख मैं यहां करना चाहूंगा। ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्रीज का कॉर्पोरेटाइजेशन उनमें से एक अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण कदम रहा है, जिसे हमने इंश्योर किया ताकि कम समय में ही डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन में व्यापक सुधार हो सके। यहां मैं जरूर बताना चाहूंगा कि ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्रीज का कॉर्पोरेटाइजेशन हमारे लिए कोई बहुत सरल प्रक्रिया नहीं थी। इसमें अनेक जटिल प्रश्न थे और चैलेंजेस भी थे, परंतु हमने इसे इसलिए लागू किया क्योंकि यह एक अर्जेंट रिफॉर्म था। अब प्रश्न उठता है कि यह अर्जेंट क्यों था। इसका एक बड़ा कारण था क्वालिटी। आप सभी स्पेशलिस्ट के समक्ष मैं यह कह सकता हूं कि सरकार ने क्वालिटी को अपना प्रायोरिटी रिफॉर्म एजेंडा बनाया है। हमने क्वालिटी इंप्रूवमेंट को ही टारगेट करते हुए ऑर्डिनेंस फैक्ट्रीज का कॉर्पोरेटाइजेशन किया। तब से लेकर आज तक डिफेंस पीएसयूज ने लगातार सुधार किया है और कॉर्पोरेटाइजेशन के पश्चात क्वालिटी प्रोडक्शन को लगातार आगे बढ़ाने का प्रयास भी किया गया है और आज ये डीपीएसयूज इंटरनेशनली कॉम्पिटिटिव हो रहे हैं। आज ये अपने रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट पर भी अच्छा फोकस कर रहे हैं। आज ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पहले से कहीं ज्यादा वाइब्रेंट और एक्सपोर्ट ओरिएंटेड हो रहे हैं। वैसे तो अभी कुछ कार्य बाकी है, पर मैं इतना जरूर आश्वस्त हूं कि जिस प्रकार पब्लिक सेक्टर में रिफॉर्म के लिए हम प्रयासरत हैं, वह हमें आने वाले समय में काफी अच्छे रिजल्ट्स देने वाला है। साथियों, पब्लिक सेक्टर के डेवलपमेंट के पीछे हमारा एक ही उद्देश्य भी रहा है कि एक हेल्दी कॉम्पिटिटिव प्राइवेट डिफेंस इकोसिस्टम का विकास किया जाए, जो अपनी क्वालिटी के माध्यम से देश की सुरक्षा को और अधिक मजबूत बनाए। जैसा कि हम सभी जानते हैं कि क्वालिटी को लेकर प्राइवेट सेक्टर की अपनी एक अच्छी खासी इमेज होती है। किसी भी क्षेत्र में प्राइवेट सेक्टर अपनी गुणवत्ता के लिए जाना जाता है। आज चाहे बड़े प्लेटफॉर्म्स हों या सिस्टम्स, एमएसएमईज हों या स्टार्टअप्स, हमने ऐसा प्राइवेट इंडस्ट्रियल बेस तैयार किया है जो देश के डिफेंस सेक्टर के विकास में सक्रिय भागीदार बन रहा है और उसे सशक्त कर रहा है। आज रिलीज होने वाले इंडस्ट्री 4 को भी मैं इसी संदर्भ में देख रहा हूं। यह निश्चित रूप से हमें स्मार्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के एक ऐसे एरा में ले जाएगा जहां से हमारे लिए कई नए डायमेंशंस खुलेंगे। इसी तरह जो दूसरे मैनुअल्स आज रिलीज हुए हैं, जो एमओयू साइन हुए हैं, उनको भी मैं इसी कंटेक्स्ट में देखता हूं। ये सभी प्रयास केवल सरकार के प्रयास नहीं हैं, बल्कि आप सभी का मिला जुला प्रयास इसमें शामिल है, इसीलिए यह संभव हो पा रहा है। साथियों, जैसा कि आप सभी जानते हैं, आज की दुनिया में सिर्फ प्रोडक्ट नहीं बल्कि एक मजबूत ब्रांड वैल्यू भी जरूरी है। जब मार्केट में असिमेट्रिक इंफॉर्मेशन फैली होती है तब कंज्यूमर भ्रमित हो जाता है, कंफ्यूज हो जाता है। ऐसे में वही ब्रांड सफल होता है जो कंसिस्टेंट क्वालिटी और रिलायबिलिटी का भरोसा देता है। और यही कारण है कि हमें इंडियन डिफेंस इंडस्ट्री को एक स्ट्रांग और ट्रस्टेड ब्रांड बनाना ही होगा। इस संदर्भ में आज मैं आपसे एक महत्वपूर्ण अपील करने के लिए आप सबके बीच खड़ा हुआ हूं। यह अपील है एक मजबूत वर्ल्ड लीडिंग और स्टेट ऑफ द आर्ट ब्रांड इंडिया का निर्माण। ताकि दुनिया की डिफेंस मार्केट में प्रोडक्ट्स को लेकर जब कंट्रीज के मन में डाउट हो तो वह ब्रांड इंडिया को चूज करे। Whenever in doubt, go for India। यह हमारी यूएसपी होनी चाहिए, यही हमारी यूएसपी होनी चाहिए। ब्रांड इंडिया का मतलब है कि अगर किसी इंडियन कंपनी ने कुछ प्रॉमिस किया है तो होगा ही होगा, होकर ही रहेगा। किसी प्रोडक्ट की भला फला रेंज तक मारक क्षमता है तो होगा ही होगा, यह भरोसा होना चाहिए। उससे नीचे का तो कोई सवाल ही खड़ा ही नहीं होता। किसी प्रोडक्ट की फला टेम्परेचर तक में काम करने की कैपेसिटी है तो होगी ही होगी, उससे नीचे का तो कोई प्रश्न ही नहीं खड़ा होता। यह होना चाहिए हमारा क्वालिटी एस्योरेंस और ब्रांड इंडिया का भरोसा। और जब हम ऐसा कर पाने में सफल होंगे तभी इंटरनेशनल बायर्स हमें एक ट्रस्टेड सप्लायर के रूप में देखेंगे और कहेंगे डोंट गो फॉर डाउट, गो फॉर इंडिया। साथियों, मैं समझता हूं कि इस दिशा में प्रयास करने का यह सबसे उचित समय है, क्योंकि इस समय जो परिस्थितियां चल रही हैं उसे आप सब देख रहे हैं।